Well, hey there, you vinyl maniacs. It's Nate, the Vinyl Guide, and I'm here today to talk about one of my favorite albums of all time. No, it's not the Beatles Sgt Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band. It is Frank Zappa and the Mothers. We're only in it for the money. Now, as you can tell right away, these two covers look a lot alike. Zappa's is a parody of the Beatles. He went a long way into making sure that every bit of the cover was ridiculed. The Beatles had their name spelled out in flowers, while the Mothers use vegetables and fruit. The Beatles have Edgar Allan Poe and W.C. Fields and Bob Dylan, and of course the Mothers have LBJ and Lee Harvey Oswald getting shot. This is Jimi Hendrix. He was actually in the photo shoot. He was around when Frank Zappa and the Mothers were taking this photo and just hopped in the picture. So that was kind of a nice surprise. Now, the Zappa parody was designed to go all the way through. He never did anything halfway. You can see even in the gatefold sleeve, you have a very similar pose there. Of course, replacing the Beatles uniforms with ladies' clothing. Always fashionable. Even the backside of the album, same sort of thing. Now, the parody didn't stop there. In the Beatles Sgt Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band, they came with an insert. These little badges you can cut out with the fake mustache and all these little things that you could wear to be like Sgt. Pepper. Well, look at what Zappa did. He included a little mustache and an imperial beard so you can look like Zappa, a bit of hair, money with a belly button, and of course a badge of a nipple, which must have gone over really well at schools at the time. So yeah, there we go. Now, this particular version of Zappa's album is not the way that it came out in 1968. This is a Rykodisc re-release from 1995, I believe. You can see the label right there. This is the way that Zappa envisioned his record to look. However, the Beatles were not into having Sgt. Pepper mimics. So what they did was they made Zappa reverse the cover. So on the original release, you see the gatefold sleeve on the outside and the outside cover art on the inside. Kind of neuters the whole parody, but the Beatles and Capitol Records were quite touchy about that. Now, so we've got a couple versions of this. This is the version that came out in 1968. It's on the Verve record label. This is a stereo version. There's a mono as well with the blue label, and there are a couple of versions of this that are both censored and even more censored. I've got an episode of the Vinyl Guide podcast that goes in depth in this release and talks about all the different versions. Check it out at www.thevinylguide.com. This version here is from 1984. This is on the Barking Pumpkin record label. This is a version that Zappa remixed and even re-recorded some of the instruments with current musicians to come out with this version for his box set Old Masters, which is what I have here. This version is very controversial. A lot of people don't like the fact that Zappa tinkered with the album, but he felt it was his to improve, and he did it anyway. We've got an interview on our podcast with Arthur Barrow, who was one of the musicians who was on that remix version. He talks about this. So there's one other thing I'd like to show you here, and this one is super interesting. This is a 1968 version of We're Only in It for the Money that came out in Australia. This is the only version that I know of that has the cover the way Zappa wanted it to be. Now, there's no gatefold, so it's just kind of a one-piece here. But yeah, this does seem to be the closest version to Zappa's original vision that I've found. Now, here is what the record looks like. It does have some edits from the US version. So it doesn't have anything particularly unique on the grooves, except it is just really cool because of the cover. So anyway, if you want to learn more about this album or any other album, please go over to thevinylguide.com. We have a lot of different episodes where we go in depth on records. We do have an episode, like I said, on We're Only in It for the Money, along with some interviews, and should be interesting for all you Zappatiers. So head over to www.thevinylguide.com or join our Facebook page, facebook.com/vinylguide. Alrighty, we'll see you with another video soon. Until next time, keep spinning. Cheers.